All right, so I get a lot of questions about how are you going to track your VA, how are you going to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, how do you know if they take a 3-hour lunch, if they're overseas, so on and so forth. So my first answer to that is, I don't know what employees I have here do every minute of the day, so it's not going to be perfect. They might take advantage of me a little bit. That's a chance I'm willing to take for the benefit of having that help at such an affordable rate. So even if it wasn't 8 hours a day, I was only getting 7 or 6. For the price I'm paying, it's still a pretty good value. So I want to be reasonable with that. Now, I put a lot of thought into this up front. So I'm using a software, which I'll link down below. It's called Time Doctor. So this has a panel where they log in. When they start working, they click the login button. This software takes random screenshots throughout the day. So you can set the timing. I think the default is every 9 minutes, but you can do it every 3 minutes, every 1 minute, whatever you want. And then it also will give you a report of like, hey, they spent 2 hours on this website, 3 hours on this website, and then there's a little graph at the bottom that shows how much time on the computer, how much time on the mouse, etc., etc. So it would make it really difficult to, if they get up and go to the bathroom and they're gone for 3 minutes, they get a pop-up that says, are you still working? Or did you take a break? Because there is a button to take a break. So that should help. Now what I did, I felt kind of weird about that because, I don't know, it seems just, if I was an employee, I would not like that. I would be, kind of not something I would want. Not that I do anything wrong, but it just seems weird. So I just addressed it. I decided that I'm going to do it up front. I put that in my ad, my job ad, that I use that software for tracking, so please know that up front. And then when I had the interview, I went through that again and said, hey, I use this not to keep tabs on you, watch everything that you do, but my payroll is integrated through there and everything else. So to make sure you get paid accurately, and I can kind of keep track of what you do. And I was very upfront of saying, here's what the software does. The reason I use it is not to look at your computer every 1 minute and take a screenshot. It's to generally keep track of your productivity. Generally, I'm not going to micromanage every second of it, but generally keep track of your productivity, and then it interfaces with my payroll to make sure you get paid accurately. So my thought is, my son could not believe that I would do something like that. It's actually not really my nature. I'm a pretty trusting person. But I also know that, if you set expectations like that, oftentimes you get a lot more productivity. So I made the conscious decision that I'm just going to do it up front, make it part of the deal. They know up front that this is what the job entails, and so on and so forth. And I think by doing it that way, it shouldn't seem so invasive. They just know that's what I do, and that's the expectation that's set right up front. So I may do a demo of Time Doctor. But anyways, I'll put a link down below. They have a free trial if you use the link. I think if you sign up, I get a couple bucks. It's not expensive. I think it's $10 a month or so. And they do have a free trial for 30 days. So within the online jobs, which I'll link below also, where I hired somebody from, they have a time tracker tool in there also. The reason I didn't use their time tracker tool is because that website is $70 a month. And I don't think I need to keep using it. I think I can sign up for 1 month, probably get the talent I need, and then cancel my subscription. So I didn't want to integrate into that website too much for that reason. So that's why I was using Time Doctor instead of the one that's provided through the recruiting website. And then again, payroll, you put in their pay rate, it comes up every week, it tells you how many hours they worked, and then it integrates with PayPal or Payoneer. I think there's 3 that it integrates with, and it'll just automatically pay them, or you can do it manually. So like I only have one person right now, so I just did it manually. So he'll log in every day, he clicks a button. At the end of the week, it'll say Dan worked 42 hours, 31 hours, and you can set parameters too. You can set it to where he's maxed at 40, so if they try and at 40 hours, it'll say, hey, you've used your allotment for the week, get a log off. I chose not to do that. I pushed it up to 50, just figuring, I don't care if he works a little extra, it's not, that big a deal. So anyhow, that's how I plan to keep track of my VA. I'm also going to do a Skype call, at least initially, with him every day. I can see it getting to a point, though, with the tasks that he's doing, I almost wouldn't really need to talk to him. So, I would try to just, at least weekly probably, just to check in and be a good boss. But I could see it getting to a point where I really don't need to have any contact. Everything is done. It's totally automated. If I check in every couple weeks, how you doing? I can definitely see how it could get there. So hopefully I'm right. I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.